welcome you to My Little Shop of Spirit. In today's reading, we'll be answering the question, what are people's secret thoughts about you? So if you chose pile 1, then you're in the right spot. I didn't do any channeling beforehand, but I have all my cards in front of me off camera, and we are going to pull as many cards as we need to see what are people's secret thoughts about you, pile 1. So let's jump in. What are people's secret thoughts about pile 1? What are people's secret thoughts about pile 1? So we have the Magician, the King of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, Page of Wands, and 4 of Swords. People think you have infinite resource, and I was about to say, if not literally, then it's almost as if you can create anything out of nothing. But I also do see that people do secretly think you have a lot of resource, and I mean like infinite resource, really. They think you live almost a fantasy like life, and I'm hearing nightlife, but it's not even like a party vibe, although people could secretly think that you party. But what I'm really thinking is like just being active at night, and even like outside at night. So like driving the city at night and doing activities at night. It doesn't have to necessarily be like nightlife activities though. But there is like a night owl, vibe to it. I think people also see you as someone who sort of has you're someone who radiates a lot of joy. And I also get the sense that people feel like underneath your happiness, there's maybe an element of, I'm hearing pensiveness. People secretly think that you have a lot to think about and a lot to ponder. I'm hearing specifically, like a lot to seriously consider. People don't just think you're thinking a lot about anything. They think you're thinking about very hefty things that are very serious, and things that weigh on the mind, things that would be heavy to the average person. But you handle it in stride. You have a lot of energy. People secretly think that you have a lot of energy, and you're really trustworthy as well. People secretly think that you're trustworthy anyways. I'm getting this message of something celestial giving you energy. I don't know what that means exactly, but that's how it's coming through, is something celestial giving you energy. Something that's connected to the cosmos. And it's something that you look to, I think, to create in your life. You also use this thing as a sort of a walking stick, like a guiding light almost. It is almost like a guiding light because it illuminates your mind. People think that you have this celestial connection. Right now, people secretly think that you're on fire, metaphorically. I was picking up on this earlier as well, and I'm going to put these hidden cards back into the deck. But people secretly think that you faced a loss or a heartbreak. They secretly think that they see it in your eyes. So people think in life, they secretly feel like you're just able to march forward through anything. And they think you're very abundant at the moment as well, secretly. People also sense that there is an emotional well within you, but that it's walled off, I'm hearing. And it's not that you wouldn't let people in, it's just that they witness the containment. The water isn't flowing. So they witness the containment of it. They witness the well. But they don't feel like they're, they can't put their bucket into it, or you wouldn't let them roll the bucket into the water and bring it back up or whatever. But it's work to do that, and I think people feel like maybe it would be a little bit of work to get close to you. But that's not something that puts people off from you, though. People are really curious to know more about you because I get like a stoic vibe or like a stoic energy from you, and it's celebratory, but it's stoic. And it's thoughtful and stoic, and it's like, it's no matter what else it is, it's also stoic, and there's like a really noble energy to this pile. So I just heard for you, pile one, quiet win. And it's like, if other people are celebrating you, you'll celebrate with them, but you almost don't even feel like you're celebrating yourself. Like, you never really feel like you're celebrating yourself. And you don't ask others to celebrate you either. And like, even when others are celebrating you, you still might not feel like you're celebrating yourself. You deny it to that extent. People secretly think maybe you're on like a journey of courage, or maybe you're on a journey that requires a lot of courage. People secretly think also that you might have to assert yourself a lot, and that you're highly independent, that you live a very free lifestyle. It's very structured. People secretly think that it's structured, or they think that they witness a structure, but there's a freedom to it as well. But I think that freedom that they're witnessing is the independence. I just heard practice. Like, I feel like it takes a lot of practice to be you. Or people's secret thoughts might be that it might take them a lot of practice to be you. But maybe, for yourself even, you have a lot of diligence about the practices that you have in your life. So for other people, it would take a lot of practice to be you, to do what you do, to achieve what you achieve. People don't really feel like you're the sensitive type, though they do think, again, that there's emotions within you. Obviously, you're human. But, as I said earlier, they do witness the well. And they don't think you're sensitive, though. Despite that, they think that, I guess what I'm trying to get to is they think even though you don't hold your heart on your sleeve or like your emotions on your sleeve, they don't think you do that out of like a guarded sensitivity. So people don't secretly think that you are guarded because you're sensitive. They think you're like really adaptive actually. And I just heard star player and on the rise. So we have North Node in Virgo here. Life purpose and destiny being seek order, serve others, and develop analytical skills. And I just heard game plan and gym bag and duffel bag. And I do feel like there is like an element of like athleticism to this pile, but like I don't feel like it's in like I feel like instead of like a building the muscles up in like a I guess vanity sense, it's like a jogging for health, running for health. It's almost in like a scientific sense. But you kind of people secretly think that you take, I heard out of pocket, but I don't mean that in like in a bad way. And as I think I'm trying to get at like wild card. People secretly think that you take like wild card risk, like unexpected, unforeseen risk. And like in the gym aspects, like you may be building muscle and stuff like that, but it's like I almost get the sense that it's like there's like a scientific element to it. Like instead of just being like I want the biggest thighs, I want the biggest arms, I want like it's not just a vanity thing. It's like I'm just picking up on it being more like I want to be the best runner. I want to be there's a measurement to it, or like I want to have this by this. It's something that's quantifiable and measurable, and there's like a goalpost, and it doesn't necessarily do with vanity, although obviously when you're working out there's an improvement to your looks there and stuff. People secretly think you're a planner. And I actually heard that earlier, the word planning and like, or like planner. So that's coming through really strong. People secretly think that you plan, and like you kind of wait and plan and think and plan. And that kind of comes back to earlier, like you thinking a lot, and like just the word pensive. People think that you plan and you wait, and like maybe not the long game, but like you'll wait things out. There's a timing to things, and like you'll wait for timing. You know to trust the process. You know to have patience. People secretly think that you're patient, and they secretly think that your long game will be successful. You know, they trust that these measurements of patience that you extend outwardly from yourself to circumstances and people, they trust that you're going to be successful in whatever it is that you're being patient on. People think you're really determined, and people secretly think that you bring clarity to cloudy situations, and they don't feel like you're opportunistic per se, but they feel like you are like a heat-seeking missile for opportunity. Like, they don't feel like you're opportunistic in a bad way, but they do feel like you spot opportunity like just none other. You're definitely like a good luck charm for those around you, and people secretly think that about you as well. When people are in the absence of you, they definitely think about that. They notice the absence of you. People secretly think that you are very prosperous and wise. They think that the risks that you take are ultimately rewarding, and they think that when it comes to the mistakes you've made, you're wise because you make opportunity of even the mistakes or the accidents that you've had. They become lessons and insight. People secretly think that you have like a greater understanding, and you're very mindful, that you notice really small details that affect like the greater picture of things. And people secretly think that you're in the middle of a transition right now. And I heard the word strengthening. People feel that at the moment you are growing stronger. So I want to pull a couple of charms for you, pile one. People think that you're really peaceful, and I almost get like the energy of a mouse, but I feel also like this energy of the mouse is like the energy that you're making stronger. So maybe this is like a previous energy, or like an energy that you're still kind of holding on to, and sort of maybe like, I guess what people think maybe you are at your core, and then you are you honestly, so that's what they're seeing. And also I kept getting the image of someone that's like very lanky and like tall and just skinny. People's secret thoughts about you are that you make a terrific friend, and that you're super fun to hang out with, and that every time that they're with you, it's a wild adventure. Every time people get together with you, it's you guys are doing something, getting into something, doing an activity, doing something for fun. It's always very active, and people really enjoy that. They secretly really enjoy that about you, and they think about that specifically about you, that how active it is with you, the time together with you. People think that you make rainy days better. You brighten up a cloudy day. You brighten up a cloudy room. People feel like you care a lot for those around you, and if you don't have a family that you're super connected to, although people do feel like you care about your family, or you're close or dedicated to your family, then what it is you make people feel like they're your brother, your sister, like part of your family. And even like elders to you, when you meet even people that are elder to you, you make them feel like part of the family. They may feel like an aunt, an uncle. Someone close to your age or maybe older might feel like a cousin. You just make people feel like family. And I hear too, like there's some sense of tradition with you. Like you might, even with your family or those that you make family, you have a lot of tradition with them. And I'm hearing like a sweater tradition, for example. Just stuff like that. So like you might even make your own traditions within the group that you have. People's secret thoughts are about how you have a lot of community. They also think about how you're very skilled and precise with your skills. about your skills are really admirable. And people secretly think that you might have like a trophy shelf at home or just a display of like accolades. You have like people secretly think that you have this stride about you that says like you're quietly successful. Like you're successful, but like you're someone who's like, again, like earlier we said like the mouse, but you have a lot of success. You're very agile and adaptive, but like you're not boastful. You're actually you give off kind of a quiet air about you, but people don't think necessarily that you're shy or that you're sensitive. Like I said earlier, they think you're actually just stoic and quite strong actually. But people see you as someone who is overall just really calm and chill to be around and enjoyable and generally social. Like even though there's a quietness to you and people think you're quiet, you're actually quite social. And they think you're smart as well. They also think you have the potential for great heights. And people think you're a good sport. And I get the image of people enjoying eating in a group. Like I think people secretly enjoy eating with you. People think you are the message again of people secretly thinking that you're highly adaptive and just highly intelligent is coming through. And just precise again. People think you're really precise. I don't know how else to say that in a way to make it like stick a little bit differently, but and clean. Like you have like a very clean aesthetic. Like your hair is clean and like your clothes are clean and like you might have like a really clean room, but and even if that's not true, it's what people secretly think about you. And all these things, like your precision and the way that you're like an accessible well and like, you know, you're not just a flowing stream and you're thinking, but it's not just about nonsense and you know all these things. People secretly think that you're really meaningful, that you lead a very meaningful life, and it attracts people to you. People become attracted to you on this. They're attracted to your intelligence as well and like the air of quietness that you give off. People secretly think that there's a lot of magic within that well of yours, and they become excited that it's not just guarded off. You know, they want to know how to access it or like how it is accessible. But pile 1, we're going to leave your reading off there for today. That was really cool and exciting. I hope you enjoyed that as well. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading them. And if you were called to any of the other piles, you can stick around and watch those. But if not, I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello, I'm Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we'll be answering the question, what are people's secret thoughts about you? So, let's just jump in. People think secretly that they know what to expect from you, and then as soon as they do, you seem to be the complete opposite. And then as soon as they think they know what to expect in that form, it's again and again and again. And it's like people secretly think that they never know what to expect from you. People secretly think that you're on the move a lot and maybe you're running from something. They secretly think that maybe you're a bit bad. People secretly think though that you make them question themselves. You knock people off kilter. And I'm getting, you know, people don't realize it, but I think really you're acting as a mirror for people. So when people think like you seem like you're off balance, I think you make people feel off balanced. And then they're sort of projecting to you that you are off balance. People secretly, you know, not realizing their secret thoughts about you are actually their own feelings that are created when your energies meet and mix. But it's like even though people are knocked off balance by you, people are secretly drawn to you as well. They don't understand, you know, how something that can be so, you know, and I want to say inconsistent and unexpected, but I don't mean those qualities in a bad way. I just mean like people, there's like a comfort to you even though you're never settled. People feel comfortable being around you and gravitating towards you and being in the mix with your energy even though it's never settled. They don't know what to expect. When they come to you, they don't know what they're getting. So, you know, there's not necessarily a comfort to that element, or that's not necessarily comforting. but for some reason you are something that people like to be drawn to. People secretly don't understand why they're pulled to you, even though you do make them feel like they're knocked off balance. And I think, you know, what's crazy is you make people feel knocked off balance, and then they project that onto you, Pile 2, that you are off balance. But I think they come to you. I think this pull is because actually you balance precisely the things that knock these people off balance when in your energy. And I think that's what the allure is, and they don't understand that the allure is that you're balancing so well and making it look, you know, your life isn't in shambles. It's actually, you know, you're quite successful and you're on the up and up. You're on the rise. You're a rising star. Or it's not necessarily that you're a rising star, because I actually feel the sense that you have some sense of recognition already. But you are also still on your own climb. People secretly think that you are on your climb at the moment. And it's like it's your time to climb. People secretly think that you're very taken care of and pampered. They secretly think you're spoiled. And I'm getting like only child vibes. People think that you might not want to share. But I think people secretly are intimidated by, I'm hearing like, this isn't what they're intimidated by, but I just channeled pretty privilege. And you know, I think people are sort of intimidated by like the beauty of your life, not just the beauty of you, but like the beauty of your life and also the beauty of you. People, just the beauty of everything surrounding you and you. People secretly think about that, how, you know, it's sort of intimidating and but very admirable. Like they look at it from afar and they like sort of yearn for it. You're almost like a star that's like, you're like stardust that's like, you know, just trickled onto the earth and like people are witnessing you. People secretly sort of think that you're like something like of the stars, and like they feel like they almost shouldn't be staring at at you, this like cosmic thing. You know, I think that was gonna come out reverse, and then I like it, by the time I saw it, it was not reverse. No, I don't want to take this right now, but you know, I do feel like I'm going to put this back in, but I'm picking up on the energy of this anyways. Like people, you might have dealt with a lot of people who deal with pretty privileged life or whatever. They often talk about how alone they are actually because their friends and just the people around them have been sort of, I'm just hearing cutthroat sort of for like social standing and possessiveness over different aspects of one's life, whether that's one's beauty or one's social network or one's like clothes or whatever, like whatever. Just different things that have made you have to defend and sort of cut through things. But, you know, despite all that, people see you as like really soft. People, they do see you as really soft. It's like your lifestyle actually is what's so intimidating. Like you just seem so, I don't want to say victorious, although that is the word, although that's not like the energy. Though you are, people do think like you have it all. You seem like you are like an it girl, honestly, or like an it boy. But I'm picking up on, I feel like a rather feminine energy here. But you know, that doesn't mean that this group is just for females. The feminine energy can be just same story, just the feminine space for males if you're here. In that regard, but the energy of this reading is definitely feminine. And you know, it's actually really crazy because I feel like you've had to deal with a lot, but it's not made you like buff. The strength that you've had to have over the years has not made you bulky with weight. It's actually, you've stayed soft somehow. You've stayed soft. And I'm just hearing grace. Like, I think people secretly think you have a lot of grace. People secretly wonder what it takes to be you, what sort of thoughts go through your head, and, like, they don't really understand you. You almost seem like a cosmic, like, entity, really, like a celestial sparkle. You just seem unreal. You just seem unreal, and I think people get a lot of inspiration from you. And I'm just reminded of like Pinterest. Like, I think people are really like, you're the muse for a lot of people for sure. You make people realize like the things of themselves that they wish they had let go of sooner, or like the things that they want to change about themselves. People secretly realize like, oh, I actually want this. I want this way, or I want to style this way. People definitely love witnessing you. I think people feel more comfortable witnessing you than they do talking to you or like approaching you. People secretly are a little scared to approach you. I think they would just feel like at a loss for words, and they would feel maybe lost looking into your eyes. So people definitely secretly think that you are like the loner it girl, and you've sort of had to work to maintain your position, although they don't feel like if you didn't work to maintain it that it wouldn't be yours. It's just a lot of people have come for the position, or various things have created conflict in this position of yours. So it's not like you're even like vying for this position or you're going after this position. It's just through natural circumstances, the nature of things, the nature of people, the nature of animals. Like, you've had to work for this position of yours. And it's developed an intuition. People secretly think that you having to navigate these circumstances has created an intelligence within you. People think that you are like street smart because of it, or like socially smart because of it. You have like an air of intelligence about you. People also secretly think that you might come from a lot of wealth, even if that's not true. They secretly think that. So, you might just be put together in a way that people think that, even if it's not true. But they do secretly think that about you, and they think that at the same time, though, you are not someone who's just taking that wealth and sort of like lounging around with it. Like, they think you are making something of yourself. People secretly think that you probably have to deal with a lot of like fight or like gossiping and just backstabbing scenarios. Like, I'm reminded of the movie Mean Girls. Like, you know how like the friendship dynamic is just like in the game Telephone. And people sort of assume that you have that energy in your life, but they don't assume that it's because of you. They just assume that it's sort of around you and almost because of you. And it's not because you're doing it. It's just, like I said earlier, I get like top lioness vibes from you, like where you're like the leader of like the pride, and it's like you were born in this way. Like, you didn't really ask for this position. You just you were born you, and you find yourself here. And people think that you deal with, because you find yourself where you are, a lot of gossiping and stuff like that. Even if it's not true, people just sort of assume that you do deal with that. And they assume too as well that you have a ton of resources. And I'm again reminded of the movie Mean Girls, and just Regina George's bedroom and how extravagant Regina George's bedroom was. People may feel like as well that you're someone that could give them like a makeover. And I just saw in my mind's eye the scene off of Clueless where they give the new girl a makeover in that movie and sort of like transform her identity. Like, people think that you could be like their Cher. So I want to pull cards from a couple of different other decks, and then we will get into some charms for you, pile 2. Something else that I'm getting is people think that you wear a lot of designer stuff, even if you don't. You make it look expensive. You make even, you can make something from a dollar store look expensive the way you style it. People secretly think that you are down to earth, even though they see the material that you have and the beauty that's in your life. They think beyond that you're probably very down to earth. They assume that about you. People's secret thoughts about you are that you've been through a lot, but that it doesn't faze you or affect you at all. They would love to know the details of what you've been through. And I'm hearing like a burn book. Like people would love to see your burn book, but not in like a, I don't think you're the type that would maliciously talk about someone unnecessarily. I think your burn book would be like the people who have done you wrong, and people want to see that book of yours. People might think that you keep a secret record, like a mental record of the people who have done you wrong. Like, you may not forgive or forget, but I think you don't hold on or hold grudges as well. And just as I say that, we have the horned toad come out, and the message to this card is arm yourself with protection, but never forget your soft core. And the element for this card is earth. Like, I do think people think that, like, you've been through a lot. Like, probably throughout your life you've been through a lot. And I'm saying, like, maybe every grade or every few grades in school you changed friend groups, or like it seems like every grade, maybe if you didn't change friend groups, who you were close to changed. And it's like there was this constantly shifting dynamic about who you could trust socially, but it's never affected you at your core. You've never changed. People sense that you've remained soft through it all. They think you are a soft person. People think you're also highly patient. That came through several times in your reading, just patience and peacefulness. They think you're like a very peaceful entity to be around. And you have a cat-like energy about you, just how you're sort of hard to catch, or like hard to obtain, and like hard to grasp, and maybe a little hard to understand as a concept. But people want to understand you, and like they're amused by you. So this card, we have starry sky, the keywords being superstition, soul, heaven, or heavens. The quote being, each star is a mirror reflecting the truth inside of you. And that is a quote by Aberjani. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And the angel number on this card is 3808. Your path is one of wealth, luck, and success. Be sure your choices align with your true self on every level. Confirmation now you're on the right path. And I definitely feel that for you, Pile 2, that you are on the right path at this moment. People secretly think that as well, too, that you are sort of like right where you're supposed to be at this time. You are in your time. You are in your place in time. You feel like you are so in your place in time that it almost feels like you're in other people's, they're witnessing you as well from their place in time, you being yours. It's almost like you're in their place in time as well. Like you have a very powerful presence about you. Like other people can't help but their awareness can't help but be pulled to your presence and like take note of it and be aware of it and just witness it. So with this card, we have compass, keywords being guidance, direction, purpose. With a compass in hand, the path unfolds like a storybook. Let its needle guide you through the enchanted forest of your destiny, pointing the way to your true north. And the angel number on this card is 11. Alignment and intuition, follow your inner guidance and trust you're on the right path. And there, another message about path. So, I wasn't picking up on people necessarily feeling, I do feel like you are, like I said, in the right place and time, and people secretly think that about you. And like, obviously, if you're in the right place and time presently, people sort of assume you're going to go where you need to in the future. But something greater here seems to be going on for you, Pile 2. It's almost like all these, challenges and conflict that you've had over the years that have led to you being in the right place in the right time, and like so humble and so graceful and so peaceful despite all these challenges that could have changed you. It's like that has to do with your path somehow. And on the bottom of that deck, we have balcony, keywords being looking up, perspective, support, quote being life seems far away from the balcony of your house. Come down, come nearer to the life. Angel number here, 9239. Opportunities present themselves. Move towards manifestation with faith, hope, and courage. And let's pull a few more cards and then some charms, and then we'll close out your reading for today, Pile 2. So you definitely make people feel like a little intimidated when people leave your life, or when you leave their lives. You're a piece of people's memory that they'll never let go of. They cling to the memory of you, people do. And that's definitely something that they hold secret as well. It's secret that they can't let go of the thought of you. People secretly think that you might be dry emotionally, even though you have this softer exterior. People witness the softness about you and your grace and how you're humble. They secretly think you might be dry emotionally. But again, I think this might be a projection. They don't know how to witness you. You're something that's very wild to others. And I think many people feel that if they were to get involved with you, things would go in an unattended way because they don't know how to handle your frequency. But you're someone who people secretly think you're glowing, and that you have a lot of warmth to you, like externally. Even if people think maybe internally you might be a little cold, I think people are just, I don't really understand where that's coming from, but I do pick that up. But, we did discuss projections earlier, so maybe that's just what that is. And I do want to say before we leave out, too, that earlier I saw my mind's eye. I forget what it's called. It's been like a little while, but it was called I don't know if it was a YMCA but it was like an older brother, older sister program, but it was like older kids or like young adults could sponsor, I guess, younger children and sort of act as like a mentor or like an older brother or sister figure. That was sort of coming through on your pile, and I think maybe people basically feel like you are worthy of being a mentor, or maybe that's something you do. Maybe you sort of fall into that role naturally because of your experience. You mentor people. But people secretly think that you have the ability to. People secretly think that you are like a sunbeam, though, like very radiant and honestly just like a breeze, like very natural and easy to be around. But people secretly fear that being around you would mean being rejected or being disappointed. And it's I get this bittersweet feeling, like being around you is so wonderful, but also it's like I can't have you to myself, so it's sort of like heartbreak at the same time. So let's pull some charms for you, pile 2, and just get some final words on what are people's secret thoughts about you. I just heard the song by Lana Del Rey. Let me look it up because I don't know the lyrics really. I just know the tune. So the song, I don't know how to pronounce it, or I guess it's pronounced Wayamaya. Let me make sure that's it. Yeah, Wayamaya by Lana Del Rey. I just heard that for your pile. So we have a light bulb. I do feel like you just light up people's lives. Like I'm getting your smile specifically. People really secretly enjoy your smile. People feel like they're caught in your web, honestly. Like you pull them in. They feel lured in by you. Your energy sort of ties them, their energy to you and like anchors. They feel anchored to you energetically. And I just heard the word moonlight. I think people find you very enchanting, and just the word glow is coming to me again. I think you glow from within. People secretly find you really beautiful and almost definitely ethereal. And I believe it was earlier in this pile 2 that I mentioned that people find you to be sort of cat-like, and we have a cat charm here. You're definitely mysterious. People don't know how to understand you, but I'm getting like tropical vibes or just like summer vacation vibes from you. Diamond, shiny diamond, bright diamond, travel, expedition, just tropical again. We have a little jellyfish charm here. And I'm getting the image of like tan skin and like just hot skin that's hot from the sun. People secretly think you are like one of a kind, that you are, really special. And we have an anchor again with the rope. Like people really feel they can't let you go. When people find you, they want you to be theirs and theirs alone. Like they want to tie you to them. You might have had like marriage proposals, or people joke that they want to marry you, or like people may have even proposed to you in the past. You may have even been engaged. You may have had serious relationships even when you were really young, because people feel really called to be committed to you. You may be a really crafty individual, and like people secretly think that you're really fashionable. you stay on top of trends. I'm really getting the image of like just tan skin again, and like maybe highlights and just really elements of life that happen from the sun. So like bleached hair that's been bleached by the sun, and like skin that's been tanned by the sun, and like things that are warmed by the sun, and like food you eat because of the sun, like slushies and stuff like that, and just like activities you do because of the sun, like listen to the radio and like just stuff like that. That may literally be the sort of aesthetic that you live by or like portray, but people secretly think that you remind them of those sorts of energies. So like you make people feel, and you remind people of vacation. Really, people secretly want to be in unison with you. Like they want to be a unit with you, and people secretly want to have fun with you. They imagine adventures with you, and like the sort of adventures they could take you on. People wonder about the adventures that you go on, though. They want to listen to music with you, and they wonder what music you listen to. People think that, coming back to that place and time earlier, like you being in the right place and time, and like because of that, them sort of just almost assuming that you're going to be in the right place and time when it comes to your future. People do feel secretly like your dreams are just sort of supported. There's this quiet patience about you that's sort of intimidating. People want to know what you're thinking. You might be the sort of person that you find, if you quit speaking, people are really intimidated by the silence around you, so they might fill in space unnecessarily. People think you're very skilled, though, and like intellectually precise. And I heard sharp. And let me look up the symbol behind this, because this keeps coming through. So people secretly might think, you are very mature, and sometimes people might take this maturity as a predatoriness in the way that your maturity shows up in your stillness, and people might take that as you're observing to gather information, like almost like intel collection. Like people filling your silence really with kind of negative understandings, but I think you make people feel insecure, really. So that's why you're a very still person and a confident person, and you instill insecurity in others. So in this stillness, people kind of fill that quiet space with insecurity. But pile 2, what an excellent reading for you. Honestly, you really are the it girl. I'm sure your path has been, you feel a little bit alone, but I think like you're a boss in your life. And I mean, people definitely treat you like that. I just want to leave your reading off there for today. I hope that was helpful or meaningful. Or also, before we go, I think people think you're also in the middle of transitioning in some sense in your life. Like you're on your way somewhere. They don't know where. You're on your way somewhere. And also, people secretly think you are a classic beauty. That came up several times in your reading. People think you are a classic beauty. So, even if you don't look traditional, what a traditional beauty symbols are, like almond eyes and button nose, and like all these specific like traits culturally, wherever you are coming from, what the markers of beauty are. It's like your features still coalesce into a beauty that becomes classic, even if you don't have traditional features. People think you're very beautiful, and you have a timelessness to your beauty as well. I think the way also you fashion yourself too has a classicness to it. But I'm going to leave your reading off there for today, pile 2. I hope that was helpful and just as awesome for you as it was for me. If you were called to another pile in this reading, feel free to find yourself over there, wherever that was. And if not, then I hope to see you in a future reading. But for now then, I guess it's goodbye. I'm Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we'll be answering the question, what are people's secret thoughts about you? If you chose pile 3, then you're in the right spot. Before we even started the reading at all today for any of the piles, I was picking up on your pile's energy. It is the strongest of all the piles. And I also picked up on sort of like a fairy energy, and also that people secretly like your smell. And I was picking up the smell of like cosmetic powder. So pile 3, let's just jump into it. What are people's secret thoughts about you? people's secret thoughts about you are, I sort of heard they want to roll in the mud with you, and I don't mean that in a dirty way. People feel like they want to have fun with you and sort of just let go and be carefree, and they secretly think that you already live like that and that you would help them achieve that sort of effect within their own life. People secretly think that you have like a nomadic lifestyle and even a nomadic mindset. That's interesting. So maybe they think this is something like a way that you'll always be nomadic and think nomadic and maybe never settle down. But people secretly think that this is a lifestyle that works for you, and they even think that you make them realize it's a lifestyle that could work for them. They sort of want to revel in the successes of it with you in their own way. People think you are holding back some really turbulent emotions that beneath the surface of your carefree attitude, maybe there's a craziness. Some people secretly wonder if your ways are just ways of selfishness, or, if they'll be burned by you. But they secretly want to think, and they do think, that you are here to, bring emotional fulfillment to them. I don't think it's like a duty of yours, but it's something that you do for everyone you meet. You are a full cup for everyone, and it's a cup that comes and goes as you come and go. But I think that come and go nature to your energy makes people question like the sincerity of it. They secretly wonder about the intentions. People might secretly think that you're new to just the game of life. I heard van life. They think maybe you're new to setting boundaries for yourself, new to creating. People secretly think that you've sort of just flown the nest, or that's the energy that you give off in some sense. And so they maybe secretly think that maybe some of this carefree attitude is maybe a bit of naivety. People, they see you right now you are like, you're offering like an overflowing cup. But like I said earlier, it's a cup that does come and go, and so people don't know what to make of it because of that. It's not constantly around for them to study and like to stare at and analyze and observe and take from and like feel out. But it's there. And like we literally just had Ace of Cups come out. People see you as like, you are just like an overflowing heart. Like, you are super abundant as far as like emotions go. And I'm getting the I haven't watched this movie from beginning to end. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but I'm reminded of that character Polly off Along Came Polly, and just like I guess just like manic pixie dream girl characters, but not like in a bumbling way. It's like you hold your life down, but people are like, you don't have a whole lot of material to have to hold down. You are moving freely, and you're able to move freely. You're a free moving cup, a free willing cup, I heard. People think you don't have anything tying you down, and as I say that, we have the Fool on the bottom of the deck. So I want to move into your other decks here that I picked out. I was like feeling really strongly your energy before we began, and didn't even have to start your reading before I knew which ones I wanted to use. I'm getting the image of like I'm like hearing Airbnb and like hostel and like a backpacker and gap year and like that sort of energy, where it's just like carefree, and like it's not really carefree though. There's like a lot of planning that goes into that, and like people just look at the overall big picture of it and say carefree, but like a lot of stuff went into that happening. So you're not careless. Carefree isn't careless. And I think in not understanding your carefree nature, people assign it carelessness, but it's just carefree. There is no carelessness to you, but people do witness your carefree attitude for sure. Some may assign it as a carelessness, not understanding it. You're not maybe easy to understand. You're not in a box for people to understand. I definitely don't get you as a type that's like a cubicle worker that's like wearing khakis and and maybe you have been that before, or you are that now, but like your overall path you're on is not you at your core. People don't secretly think that about you. They witness a different air about you. People think you're at the start of a journey in some sense, like you are entering the world. They don't feel like you have any indoctrinations or like chains holding you back, associations holding you back. You're very flexible. People secretly think you're a very happy person and curious, that you live to take action, that you're soft-hearted. Definitely. That you're a high vibrational being. People secretly wonder of the work it takes to be you. And they think people want to believe that you are being genuine, but they don't know how to be genuine like you. So they don't, it doesn't land on that. But it's not necessarily that they think that you are being disingenuine. It's just that they don't understand how to be genuine like you. There's like a longevity to your personality, and people see, they secretly think about this in the sense of how you maintain the carefree attitude. There's like a longevity there. They wonder how you achieve it, how you remain so open. You may be like death energy or like tower energy for others, how you kind of take their life by storm, like their conformative lives by storm. But you make them feel complete. Even though your carefree attitude may feel like chaos to some, this rarity to your energy, people secretly feel completed by it. They secretly feel like your energy is very young. If you're not like literally young, physically, your spirit is young. You're young at heart, you're young at the mind. But despite this, people think you're very keen. And you have a strength to you. But it's not something people would characterize you by per se, like, oh, blah, 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 they're so strong. Like, I think the biggest thing people would say about you is the carefree. But there's a strength and a bravery to that. I think if people were to, hold a discussion about your carefree attitude, it would reach the point of acknowledging the strength it takes to be you. People think you're, lighthearted and easy to be around. And they secretly want to be in love with you. They want to have romantic escapades with you. People secretly wonder if there's a facade to your nature and your expeditions. I'm hearing, like the travels that you do. Like, people wonder, is this all real? Like, could this all possibly be real? How could one achieve this? You may have had a lot of moments of sorrow in life. I'm feeling as I pick up this deck. People's secret thoughts about you are that you're very fulfilled, and maybe that you're trapped or wandering. You're trapped wandering, that you have no before or after to land to. But they secretly feel like it seems like that's all you need, and I think they wonder, how is that all you need? I want this, and this, and this, and it's an overflowing list, and I feel like I'm never going to reach it. People might assume, too, that you partake in, certain lifestyles, certain recreational lifestyles, recreational substances. They also feel, though, people secretly feel like you bear yourself to the world. People feel like when they witness you, they're witnessing the core turned inside out, and they feel like they're witnessing you in your entirety, and there's nothing else to see. But I think you just offer a really sincere, people are picking up on your sincerity there, because I think there's a lot more to you than what people do see. I think you're very deep, actually, and people misinterpret you because of your carefree attitude. But getting back to people's secret thoughts about you, though. So we have Supermoon standing for ecstasy here. Keywords being transcendence through bliss, intense peak of joy and elation. So people's secret thoughts about you are that you just make them feel like they're in ecstasy. Thinking about you, being around you, the thought of being around you, people fantasize about having you beside them, what they would do if you were in front of them, what they would say to you. They think about what they would think. They think about what they would think about. You really put people in their thoughts. And just being in their thoughts with you makes them feel good. And so imagine how they feel then to be in person with you. I mean, it's overwhelmed. I get like overwhelmed to the senses, and even like they may get like goosebumps, and they may feel literally overwhelmed to be around you. People secretly may experience sensory overwhelm. People secretly fantasize about being whisked away by you, like you sort of like stealing them away from their lives, and like just sort of wrapping them in the air of the mystique of your own life. People secretly fantasize about that. They secretly want the adventure that you seem to offer, and the fun and the celebration. People are secretly adoring you. They're secretly devoted to you. Their devotion knows no bounds. So I want to grab a couple charms and see if we can't just deepen the message. You may deal with some elements of pain with your, carefree lifestyle. And as I said earlier, it's not a carelessness, it's just carefree. But I'm getting the image of like running or walking barefoot on gravel. Like it hurts, but you can actually build up like a tolerance to it a bit, and like, I feel like that's you. Like maybe the average person, after you've been doing it for so long, you can run wide open on the gravel barefoot, but like you bring a friend along and they've never done this before and they take their shoes off, it's like they're not going to take one step with you. Like your lifestyle is by other people's standards would be difficult or painful. It would be painful to be as carefree as you are and live on a whim and like on the go, and like people, they don't see how you're able to do it without the pain. I think there is pain to your process. It's just not the pain that they think. I think circumstances allow you to be who you are, and so you face a pain that's just different from the one that they would expect, but you do still have a painful experience. They just, it's not necessarily acknowledged. I think people secretly fantasize about what you would be like in a less unbridled position. Like if they were to sort of tame you, people like kind of sort of fantasize about taming you. They fantasize about how special it would be to have someone as rare as you as their own, and like only to them. And again, just the message of you just being a very loving person comes through, and just very like young at heart, and just really open and curious to the world. And people not really understanding how to interpret your energy, how to digest your energy. They don't understand how to like metabolize your energy. They witness your radiance, and then there's a mysterious to it. Even though they witness it in all of its light and all of its glory, it's still almost as if some element of it goes hidden because they don't understand it, even though it's in full light. You're definitely a trailblazer. People see you as someone who is like boundaryless. You don't have boundaries or like roles or boxes or confinements or labels necessarily, even though you may label yourself, but you don't let them. The main thing is just you don't have any chains. And I want to get one last message here. And I think this is so perfect. So we have a little fish charm, and I feel like people secretly think that you are the sort of person, and I heard just keep swimming, like you go with the flow, and people definitely think that about you. They definitely think that even though you're human, so in that way, we're part of a community, you're still so unique, you're one of a kind, and they would love to, catch you on their line, their metaphorical line, like, you are a catch. And yes, people just definitely think you are the sort of person to just go with the flow, and the sort of person to have patience. A very beautiful reading, Pile 3. I really enjoyed your energy, and I admire you myself. I hope you enjoyed this reading today, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you were called to any of the other piles and haven't already, you can watch them now. But if not, I hope to see you in our next reading or one soon. Bye!